the passion for innovation, the arts and culture are really summed up by what Bryan Snyder does and his work. So with that in mind, let's talk about this idea of inviting people into the world of art and how that creates a sense of place. And you've done this for businesses. Some of your first work was with businesses. Talk to us about that connection between art, people, and businesses, and how that sense of place can really thrive with the contributions of people like yourself.
Yeah, thank you, David. And it's a true honor to be on stage with Carolyn and Kristianne. We have a long history together. I worked with Carolyn at NAMM for almost 10 years. I met my wife, Susanna, at NVA. Thank you, Laura, for introducing us. And one thing that we really share, and you've heard it already, is we talk about decades. We've been doing this for 20 years. And along with that, we're not passionate, we're overly passionate. We love what we do. And we've been doing it for a long time because it means a lot. This community, Carlsbad, and all of you are really close to our hearts, and that's why we do it. So when I think about my journey, I think about the first time I moved away from Carlsbad to go to college, and I went to San Francisco, and I fell in love with what I observed immediately. It was a very rich, vibrant culture based on the arts, and I saw community supporting the arts, and I saw the community benefiting from the arts, and I felt like there was something magical there. And I started traveling around the world and seeing these types of communities. So I came back from college, took back to Carlsbad, the best city on earth, and I quickly realized that Carlsbad was missing something. And it was that artistic culture. Now we have a lot of artists, we always have had artists in Carlsbad, but there wasn't a scene that was really pulling them out of their home studios, whether music, visual arts, or theater, and allowing them and encouraging them to show their art out in public space. So I decided that my goal was to try to help encourage more an artistic culture in the village. So I sketched out an equation on a napkin, and it equaled that emerging art scene. But the components of this equation was, one, a working art studio in the heart of the village. So I opened up Snyder Art and Design in 2007. Another component was a website that documented all of this emerging things, art-related things. That was carlsbadcrawl.com, where I updated that daily for almost 10 years. I also was gathering people together in the community to encourage coming together, creating a network, but also the act of making art. Anyone, no matter what skill, can participate and become encouraged and inspired. And then the last component was murals. I felt like if you're missing all of these other parts of the equation, when you're walking the village, you will see a brightly colored wall. And hopefully that will stop and allow that person to realize there's something going on here in this village. And so I dedicated everything to that equation. That was almost 20 years ago, and it's amazing to be up here with you guys because we've all had a really big part in what we are seeing, the success of everyone today. So kind of fast forward a little bit, 2015, I opened up the Carlsbad Art Wall at Senior Grubby's. Huge shout out to my main man Justin from Grubby's. Without his support, that project would not have started, and we've been working together for 20 years on projects about building community. And that project's all about bringing people together based on the art. So every 2 months, I bring a new artist to paint that same wall. Since 2015, I've had almost 40 artists paint that wall. Every weekend when the artist is visiting, you'll see people lined up on the fence, and I tell passers-by that it's not as much about the art on the wall, it's the experience that they are witnessing. It's the opportunity to engage with the artist, to ask questions, to see their materials, and hopefully become inspired. Shortly after, around 2020, I opened up the alley art wall on the west-facing wall of the Village Kebab on Grand Avenue. And same idea about creating this experience, but if you haven't been there, there's 17 permanent murals painted by 17 different artists. But my favorite part, and really what makes me tick, is something in the middle. It's a dedicated space, which is Carlsbad's first recreational mural space, where aspiring artists now have a place legally to go and paint. Because I didn't. 15 years ago, I didn't have that space. But they do now, and they can grow this passion much like a skateboarder would go to a public skate park. They bring their own equipment, they wait in line, and they practice. And that means a lot to me, and it means so much to me that after 20 years of being in marketing, I switched careers, and now I'm a full-time teacher at Valley Middle School, teaching art to 300 plus students every single day. So, and it's the best job ever. I love it. And so when I think about this culture that we have, the community, I'm hopefully inspiring, 300 kids every day to continue this journey that we fell in love with. And that means a lot. So I think that the village is going through an amazing transition. The arts are everywhere, and I think that everyone in this room is really benefiting from what's happening.
So you're hearing about people, passion, and in Bryan's case, paint, transforming our community. So just real quickly, for the business owners that are out there, or the people, the managers, the folks that are in this room, what encouragement would you give them about the impact that the arts can have on their business, on their workforce, on their employees, on their overall brand?
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of time in the village, and every 2 months when an artist is painting for 2 days at Senior Grubby's, I'm on that fence and I'm interviewing every person that walks by. I'm gathering data, and I want to know if I need to shift. And what I'm hearing, artists, art enthusiasts are coming to the Carlsbad Village to see the murals. There is a mural scene, there's a tour that they go on, and also people who are just looking for something to do are now coming to the village for the murals, as well as many other things, the theater and the music. And there's like quantitative data that is associated with that. When they come into the village to find murals, they're going into Handles or going into Grubby's or wherever, and they're putting money directly in the pockets of all of you guys in this room. And that's great, because it's helping artists survive by painting murals, and it's helping you guys survive by keeping your businesses going. So if you have interest in adding some color to your walls, I would highly suggest making that happen, and please come to me. I can help make that happen, because it will bring people to your front door and hopefully inside your front door.
So how many of you have seen one of the murals down the village? I think that's pretty much just about everybody, right? Did you ever think that mural could be driving economic impact in a sense of place, and that there's